Hello, everyone. This is a blog Media Breeze. My name is Bree, and I am coming on here today to talk to you about love and Marriage Huntsville. This was season 3, episode 8, and the title on the OWN network is Sin City Showdown. Now, I want to say I realize I am on here at a time when other more popular, more famous vloggers or bloggers are on YouTube right now. I know that they're doing their reports. Some of them come in and out all day long. That's just not something that I can do. Um, I am. I want to before I get started with Love and Marriage Huntsville. I wanna say something, you guys. I have a real big heart. I really do. I have a huge heart and just a really great love for people overall. And I really love and enjoy giving people the benefit of the doubt. And I yesterday in my commentary, I was trying to show some support for a YouTuber who is no longer on YouTube, and Google has taken her down. All of her channels actually have been taken down. And I've known Google to take down maybe one channel, but people can still operate from the other channel. However, this person's channel, all three of them are gone. Even the new one she put up, they went in and took down. And I was literally trying to show enough support within my capacity of my own values. And I went over there to listen to her channel on Twitch, and I actually heard her saying something that other people had been saying that that she says. And you guys, I need to apologize to all of my viewers yesterday because I literally was trying to show this young lady some support, but I really believe this young lady's issues are so big that I'm just going to step back. Unless, I need to report something else. Um, and it was Nosy Ho. So you know, I didn't like what I heard on her channel when I did go over there, and it was as if the Lord was trying to show me this because I have never heard her say what I heard her say yesterday. And her subscribers were co-signing what she was saying. And I don't know whose baby they were talking about, but they were like, F the baby. Thank you, Sharon Swain. I I am feeling better. I keep I'm concerned because it is a lingering illness. It is a lingering illness, and I want the lingering now to go away. I don't want it in my system at all. And but thank you for your thoughts. Talking about Nosy Ho, yesterday, if you heard my video, I did give her some sort of support within the capacity of my values. And I went on her channel, and as you've just heard me say, I heard her and her subscribers saying about a baby, they were saying, F that baby. I don't care whose baby it is. I don't care how bad the parents are. I don't care how downtrodden the parents are. You don't say that about a baby. That shows something deeply ill about people who will do that. And her her viewers, her subscribers were co-signing that stuff. So I digress. I'm done. I mean, I may report on her as I hear information. I may report my commentary as I hear information, but other than that, no more support here. I'm done. I mean, first the little wicked, evil rooted type of statements on her channel when she was on YouTube, and now she's over there saying, if you're gonna come over here, you got to be able to take this stuff out. So in other words, you have to be the devil to rock over there. And I'm not the devil, honey. I try to do everything good. Eternal life sounds very good and juicy to me, and I want it. So no, you devils stay over there, and I'll stick it over here with God. So so thank you guys for being here. I'm going to go ahead and go right into it. This is a slow start because I wanted to go ahead and say that little piece. But we're talking about Love and Marriage Huntsville. And you guys, it starts out with Mel shooting her first video at her girlfriend's estate, which was a glamorous estate. She had horses out there. Mel was walking the dog in her Sheba looking gear, her long black hair in the video. I wanna see the video in full. I wanna see it in full. It looked like a really good video. At the same time, it looked like kind of an old-fashioned video. Videos nowadays have a little more going on in them, and I'm just interested to see the end result after it's been edited and how everything came together. She was there at her girlfriend's house, and they were showing some back and forth footage of Malia, her daughter Malia. Malia looks just like Martell. She is the spitting image of Martell. That is definitely nothing Martell can ever not lay hold of. Okay. Um, so you guys are coming on in here. I just want to pause and say, yesterday I had all those people in the room with me. I so appreciated it. I love you guys for coming over here and showing me support for something that I really love doing. And yesterday I did not have one like. I went into my YouTube studio and I had no likes. So if you're over here, at least, give me a like. Give me a like for my time, okay? um, sorry. So Mel is shooting her video. Towards the end of the video, Brittany comes in. That's Mel's friend. Mel says that she and Martell both have known Brittany for a number of years. It sounds like they are longtime friends, maybe even since before they got married. And Brittany had babysat the children, Malia, Malik, I cannot get their names together, but she had babysat the children. And evidently, Martell went online and made some negative derogatory comments about Brittany that were not true, according to Mel and Brittany. So Mel was apologizing to Brittany on air for that. And here is where Carlos King went wrong, because he should have allowed some footage or some message or just a print screen or something to show us exactly what Martell said about Brittany so that we could all know what went on, because we've never seen Brittany. This is our first time seeing her on the show, and she is a friend of Mel's. I want to pause and say here, I know people from Huntsville. I know 5 people from Huntsville. I met them in Atlanta. They moved to Atlanta about the same time that I lived there, and we are still friends. We talk. They still have family in Huntsville. They know Mel. Okay, they are older than Mel, but they know her, and they know her mom. And Mel has a lot of friends. She's popular. She was known for being really smart in school and beautiful. And that makes sense to me, you know? So I just digress on that. I just wanted to put that out there. So Mel's director, his name is Naquan. And you can tell these people, they are so nice. Oh, Sharon Swain, you're from Huntsville? You're from Huntsville? Do you know Mel? That is hilarious. You're from Huntsville. Okay. Well, I love the Huntsville vibe because it gives me a little bit of the North Carolina vibe. because people in North Carolina are friendly as well. It's tight knit country like communities here. Well, oh my goodness. Well, you're in for a treat for what I have to say. So let me go ahead and get started, okay? Here we go. I'm going to go ahead and proceed. Naquan is the director of the video. Mel's confessionals are giving me everything this season. She looks gorgeous. Mel is I just think she's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful girl. And she has a great body. She has a great body and she's a little bow leg, you know? So I like her and she's smart. I believe everything my friend said about her. Mel seems to have always known that she could sing because she said that she has always dreamt of being in videos and producing records, and she's always known she can sing. I love her voice. I don't know if she's had voice lessons. However, that is something I would highly recommend for her. I think everyone who can sing needs to have voice lessons. I have a sister who sings beautifully, and she has even had voice lessons. Even if you can't sing and you want to learn how, you can take voice lessons. Um, it's funny, I've seen people who take voice lessons, and some of the sounds that they have to make with their voice is funny. So Martell's social media lies against Brittany. Brittany says that Martell is showing that when he lashes out like this, that he is having issues, that anyone who lashes out at her without a cause in the way that he did has issues. And Brittany is not telling any of us anything we don't know. We know Martell has issues. You know, he is unstable and constipated, for real. Martell is unstable and completely constipated. I think he needs to go get a really good colonic so he can calm down. He is always ready to be on go. If you pay attention to his nonverbals, he is always ready to be on go, to get somebody told, to say something off the cuff. He doesn't really think before he speaks. So Brittany makes a good point. He's in a very bad space. And I believe that all of his lashing out against Mel is because he wants her back and there's nothing he can do about it. I would like to see Mel not argue or debate with Martell, even on the show. I know the show needs ratings, and this thing between them is bringing ratings. At the same time, people are kind of getting old. People are growing weary of the back and forth between Martell and Mel. So I want Mel to give it a rest and slow down because she's beginning to look like she wants him back. And so she needs to think before she speaks as well. I would only talk to Martell when he and I were sitting in the therapist's office trying to develop co-parenting skills. That's the only time that I would talk to talk to Martell. I want Mel to maintain the classy lady that I have envisioned her to be in my mind. Next, it goes to the Blaque cigar bar, and Tisha and Jalen are having a conversation. Jalen tells Tisha the whole staff left, and he was there by himself. You guys, if you notice in my title where I put that Tisha and Marsau are not Black excellence, they are not Black excellence. Sharon, are you saying that Melody uses auto tunes? Please don't tell me that. Don't kill my vibe. Don't kill my vibe. So Tisha and Marsau, when Jalen tells her, did you guys hear this? He tells her point blank, the whole staff left. Tisha didn't even respond. She didn't even respond to the fact that the whole staff left, and this young man is left there to cook and wash the dishes, and she wants him to get reports over to her? The manager is normally in the office sending the reports out to the district level people when there are other people in the kitchen doing their jobs and doing what should be done. Her reply to him was, I know that even though you are doing, other work here, that we still expect you to send over the report. Listen, Jalen is a better man than I am woman. I would have walked out right then, right there. I would have looked at God and said, clearly, this ain't the place for me. Let me get the hell up out of here. I would have walked out. She didn't even respond to him. She didn't address the fact that her staff had left. And it's clear, it's possible that her and Marceau already know the staff has left. But on air, can we see you have some kind of class, Tisha? Tisha I don't like Tisha. I know a lot of people don't like Tiffany. I have to say I like Tiffany better than Tisha. Tisha is really getting on my nerves. Sorry. Oh my gosh. When I laugh, you guys, my chest still bothers me. Please forgive me. So Tisha thinks that she is so daggone important because they have this business now. And so does Marceau. Tisha and Marceau really need to seek the Chamber of Commerce in their area since they have connections there, because the Chamber of Commerce provides businesses with leadership seminars. They need to look into their state office, because there are often states that have, because the states, our United States, each state loves it when businesses exist. They do. They like it whenever you have a business. That's why they will support businesses with a certain amount of grant money. They will support businesses with direction on how to make the business better. It seems as though Tisha and Marceau have not sought out any of the benefits in the state of Alabama that they can have for their business. And leadership skills is something that they are desperate and in dire need of, you guys. That is bad leadership. When you come in and all you have are a bunch of demands for your employees and you don't have a solution. This is the fourth show wherein Jalen has mentioned that he needs help, and it has continuously gone ignored by Tisha and Marceau because they are constipated. They need to go get a colonic, and then they need to go straight to leadership class. Tisha has those 2 masters in real estate and still has not learned anything about how to interact with employees. I had to get that out, you guys. And I know that I'm just going in circles here. I just want to get that message out, okay? They are not Black excellence. Remember a few episodes back when they were in Houston and Tisha was talking to Tommy and she was talking to other people and she said, we are about Black excellence. However she says it, it's excellence. But she was leaving out some letters and some syllables and some just something in that word excellence. And she is not demonstrating that in this business. She's not demonstrating, and neither is Marceau. Marceau, I mean, Marceau is in his mind still the fat kid. Sorry, people. I'm just saying that he has some security issues. That's why it's important for him to to uh, to be in complete control and to only get his way because he's still thinking with the insecurities of the little fat kid. They are bad business people. I would not want to work for them at all. So Jalen asked Tisha if he and Tisha were good. And Tisha looks at him, and then she wondered why he asked that question. And he says, because I know if you and my mom have issues, you might be taking it out on the offspring. And Tisha denied it. She says, I would never do that to you. And I do not believe her because her actions are showing something else. I do not believe that Tisha has the capacity to examine herself in order to become a better person of character. And we will see this throughout the show. I have some other things I'm going to bring up to you, like on that trip. She needs to step back as a business owner and as a person and ask herself how she feels about Jalen. How do you feel about Jalen? Because if you ask yourself, how do I feel about this person? Do they make me sick? Can I not stand them? Are they getting on my nerves? Because then you can go deeper and ask yourself, okay, why do I feel this way about him? And then eventually it will come up that you are holding things against him because of his mother, because you absolutely are, Tisha. You absolutely are. You and Jalen are not good. That's why you are ignoring. Sorry, you guys. You are ignoring his pleas for help there at the restaurant. I mean, at the bar. You know what? We're going to have, as soon as I get completely better, I'm going to go to Huntsville and go to Blaque Cigar Bar. Maybe next summer I should be able to do that, Lord willing. So Tisha's confused and she is in denial. She definitely is taking some things out on Jalen, and so is Marsau. Moving forward, I want to back up a little bit because in one of my videos, I titled it that Marsau is sexy. I want to go back on those words. Okay. So now let's go forward. They should have provided and paid for Jalen's training. They really should have provided, because even though he is a college graduate, when you graduate from college, because when you enter college, you're just a kid coming out of your parents' household, really. And whenever you graduate, you're now this kid who has developed a lot of academia, but you're still the colleges don't teach you how to run a business. They teach you about business. They teach you about whatever it is you're going to be doing when you get out. But there's nothing better than that experience and hands-on. And they took this young man right out of college. They should have made him the assistant manager and someone else the general manager with experience. And that general manager could have guided him. If they were not going to do that, then they should have paid for him to have management training courses and leadership courses. There is a difference in management training courses and leadership courses. So next we see Marsau and Tisha talking to Jalen, and Marsau asked Jalen for feedback. And again, he tells him that he needed help and he expected them to be more hands-on. Of course he did. He's a kid coming out of college, immediately going in to manage a restaurant, which isn't the best job in the world, you guys. Managing a restaurant, I haven't managed a restaurant. However, I have worked in a restaurant, and just working there and watching the managers hustle made me not want to work in a restaurant. So they should have been more hands-on. They want to sit back and make all the money and not help people to help them make the money. Next, we see Tisha goes and she apologizes to Marsau because, in the last episode, when her mother brought up the fact that Marsau delivered personally that bottle of champagne to Mel, Tisha wanted answers for that. She wanted to know, did you do that, or did you give the champagne to her at my graduation party? Because that's where I thought you gave it to her at. Marsau did not answer, so Tisha puts her hand on his chin and squeezes it and turns it to her. and demands an answer, by which he still did not give her an answer. So in this episode, she apologized to him for that. Tisha's always she always goes good for Marsau, like doing things like apologizing and making him feel good. He does not do the same thing for her. He does not. He's a bad husband. At least that's what he's demonstrating on this show. He's not a good husband. He doesn't show her affection. Now, on the show, he did show her little bouts of affection. And even in the last episode, when he walked over, hugged her, and gave her a kiss on the forehead, he's beginning to do that. And perhaps because that's all sinking in terms of what we think about his relationship with her, that's probably sinking into him right now. How we want to see him show her a little more love, more respect. I want to see him go to therapy with her, because she's always going in for him. He's never in her corner. So in her confessional, she's talking about that, and she is admitting to owing him an apology. And this is her mess up, another one of her word mess ups, because she goes, normally I try to keep cool, calm, collect. It's normally I try to keep cool, calm, and collected, Tisha. Okay? I try to be cool, calm, and collected. And I've even heard people say I try to be cool, calm, and collective. But I've never heard him say I try to be cool, calm, and collect. I mean, what is it? A collect phone call? Are you collecting a bill? I was, oh my goodness. And she gets that from Wanda. If you listen to Wanda's phonetics, they are very bad. They're very bad. And she really should not be uh, Wanda. I'm not really feeling Wanda on the show, because Wanda lied on Kimmy, and not that Kimmy is one of my favorite people at all, but she did lie. Next, she tells Marceau she wants to plan their 15-year anniversary with their friends, and she wants to plan a trip to Vegas. His immediate reply is your mother coming? You guys, it's a shame when your son-in-law feels that way about you. I don't want my daughter-in-law and son-in-laws to feel that way about me. I will never demonstrate that kind of character where they feel that way about me. And Tisha, of course, relieves him, because she says, I think the two of you need to be separated for a while. And I was even relieved. So I felt his relief in that one. Next, we have Maurice. He is driving over to the Winslows. The Winslow, I forgot his name, but their last name, Tiffany's husband. Tiffany Winslow's husband owns a business called The Compound. So Maurice, in his 750 Score Challenge t-shirt, stops in to see him. And he wants to make sure everything's okay. Look, man, I just want to make sure everything is okay. I know we had a tough conversation, and I just want to make sure that we're not talking about each other's kids. So he doubles down on this one, right? Maurice ain't no joke. Don't talk about his baby. He loves that young man. I love seeing the love that Maurice has for his son. I love it. And the Winslow man says, he agrees to that. So you can see he and his wife just last episode were out there doing whatever they were doing in their yard. It didn't look like much. And they were talking all of this crap about how they really felt about Maurice and Kimmy and Kyle was approach to them. They were talking all this crap. Quite frankly, Tiffany, you need to take responsibility. You had no right to talk about a kid. You're inappropriate. You don't know how to read the room. You little narcissist. I can't tell which one I like least, her or Tisha. So next, Mel stops at Destiny's. And what are they doing? They're sitting there eating watermelon. Remember the watermelon Mel brought to Destiny and it determined whether or not they would remain friends, and it was sweet enough that they remained friends. Well, Destiny has watermelon prepared for her. They talk about the trip. They're not going to leave on the same date as the other couples because Mel has something to do. I cannot recall what it was. And they're going to come the second day. So Destiny, Mel is talking about Tiffany and her husband going on the trip. And Destiny makes Mel says that they're going to have some games where, they're going to couple up. And Destiny tells Mel she hopes that they don't put her together with Tiffany. Well, Tiffany's going to be with her husband, so I don't know why you are worried about that. I really don't. I want you to get past the Tiffany thing. Tell Tiffany next time what you think of her at the moment. At the moment that she insults you or says something, tell her at the moment and then move on. So, oh my goodness, I have to stop saying so. At any rate, Mel asked Destiny, what exactly is it that you have against Tiffany? And Destiny says Tiffany doesn't know how to read the room. And I agree. I would like for Melody to at least admit that Tiffany does not know how to read the room. I don't know why she is so gung ho on being in full support of someone who has done somebody else wrong. Even if that is your friend, you should still recognize when they have mistreated someone else and be friendly enough to tell them that. They all arrive in Vegas. Tisha's yelling, "Y'all ready to party? Y'all ready?" Well, she did get that syllable right. Are y'all ready to party? Tiffany on the party bus. Tiffany's one of these women, in my humble opinion. Tiffany is one of these women who thinks more of herself than she actually is. Or maybe it's that she thinks more of herself than I actually think of her, because she really thinks she's hot stuff. And I just don't concur. I think she's average, very average. So they get on the bus, they're all playing around with the pole. Tisha plays around with it. Tiffany and her husband come in and they tell her she has to do some moves on the pole. She starts doing some moves. She's like, what have we gotten ourselves into? And she does some moves. She winks at her husband. And I'm just not really. I'm glad they're on the show, because I guess we all need somebody to just like dislike on the show. And so she can stay on the show so she can be that person that we just dislike. Maybe it'll balance out for me. Maybe it'll balance out between her and Tisha in terms of who I like the least. So Martell, in his confessional, is considering the fact that he is a single man, and the single man in him might come out in Vegas. Did you guys catch that? Because what that means is he does not recognize coleslaw. You know who coleslaw is, right? The 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 side piece he cheated on Melody with. I call her coleslaw. Anytime you are a bold enough woman to go around and sleep with another woman's husband and you know he's married, you are coleslaw. You're worse than coleslaw. I shouldn't even call you coleslaw because I really like coleslaw. I'm gonna have to think of a side I don't like. Rice. I don't like rice. I know a lot of people like rice. Anyway, that I just caught that. I just wondered if anyone else caught that, because for him to say he is a single man, he didn't say nothing about her back home and how he needed to be careful, uh, and that he needed to do whatever he's doing with her. He has not even mentioned her. So they arrive to their destination, and Tisha tells everyone to go pick their rooms. She and Marsau have already picked their rooms, so they can't have that room. They all go pick their rooms. They all go outside on the balcony, which it looks beautiful from the balcony. That looks like a, what do you call it? Um, what do you call those places? Bed. What is it? Oh my goodness, I can't even think of the name of it. What is it? Is it like a stay, a place, a home where people stay, uh, and they are bed and breakfast type of place? I don't know. At any rate, they're on the balcony looking, and it was a nice home that Tisha picked out for them. I was really looking at Kimmy. I've been paying attention to her fashions, and Kimmy needs to quickly locate a different stylist. Whoever is styling her is doing a very bad job because she has a lot of potential. Okay, who's this? Let's see. She has a lot of potential. And I didn't like her hair, and I don't, her clothes look cheap to me. They really look cheap. It looks like you could get them at the Goodwill. Now that dress she had on when she went to meet Kiowa and Xavier that time, I did like that dress, but I was even still iffy with that. I think I just liked the colors in it. She wears a lot of different colors, checkered and all of this, which is perfectly fine. I just I don't like her dress. I don't like her style. They all start talking about threesomes, and Marceau is making a joke saying, "Don't talk his wife into having a threesome unless she really wants to." And they start talking about threesomes in terms of cheating. And of course, Martell is the expert on cheating. He says, it's not cheating if she knows about it. Cheating is when you don't know. So everybody be quiet for a moment and listen to Martell because he knows. Okay? He made a really good point. Cheating is when she doesn't know. Tisha and Kimmy, as they're talking about the threesomes, Tisha tells Kimmy that Destiny thinks Kimmy wants a threesome with her and Maurice. I want to back up a little bit because Destiny is also very average, you guys. Destiny thinks more of herself than she actually is, too. I don't know why that it's not that she's not cute, she is, but she's cute and that's it. But she keeps thinking that everybody is so interested in her. And I'm trying to figure out that's like overconfident. Be realistic, girl. Step back a little bit. Okay. I know people think differently than I do on these women on this show, and that's fine. We all have different taste. When they are talking about the threesomes and Marceau makes that comment that I just made about his wife Tisha, do you look at did you notice the look that Martell gave Marceau? Martell, the way there's something wrong with his brain, dude. I tell you, the way he looked, it made me uncomfortable just looking at him because I was like, what is he thinking? Why did he just look at them like that? Whenever Marceau said, you know, don't make my wife get involved in the threesome if she doesn't want to. And he said it jokingly. And that's when Marceau gave him that look. And then he says, now, if she wants to, he kind of changes it and turns it around to make it into a joke. So Tisha and Marceau are back in the room because they've decided just to stay there because no one really wants to go out. And she brings out a swimsuit. He holds up the bottom part of her swimsuit and asks which one is the front and which one is the back. And she says it doesn't matter, which it doesn't. In some swimsuits, it doesn't matter which one is the front and the back. And he says, well, it does. So she asked him to come into the bathroom to help her with her swimsuit. He turns her down, you guys. He turns her down. Marceau is not sexy. I don't know what's going on with his brain, but that's your wife. You're on your 15th anniversary trip. Your friends are there. She tells you, come in here and help me with my swimsuit. And you're just lying up in the bed and you turn her down. I can't with him, really. And she turns around and she says to him, "Well, then don't help me take it off either." So next we have Marsau, Tisha, and Martell. They're taking shots somewhere in the house. They're standing around taking shots. Maurice says, he comes out in the kitchen and he says, "It's kind of quiet in here." So Tisha planned this trip, but there's no music. Usually, if I plan a trip or if I'm doing a party or something like that, I will, um, I'll have some music playing in the background. Even if people come over, I have music. Well, anyway, before the pandemic. And so Maurice says it's kind of quiet in here. And the first thing in my mind was, can she have some jazz playing in the background or have some kind of music? Uh, a little bit of Drake in the background or something. So Martell gives a confession on Mel arriving to the trip. And he says he doesn't know what he's going to do when they get there because sometimes she pops off at him, other times he pops off at her. Why don't you try self-control, Martell? Try self-control, like keeping your mouth shut and just being respectful and enjoying the trip. In fact, don't talk a whole lot. Just be quiet. Have a drink, enjoy the trip, enjoy your friends, and make it a point not to start an argument. If she pops off at you, say something respectful and go on out of the room. How is it that you sit there as a grown adult? Oh, I don't know how this is going to go because I don't know how I'm going to respond to this one and that one. That is so high school. As a grown person, you need to know how you're going to respond to people. And if it's someone you don't get along with, you need to prepare to just be self-control. Self-control is a very good trait. It's an excellent character. God says it's one of those characters, one of those fruit of the spirit that will get you in the kingdom of heaven. So be self-controlled, okay? They start picking on Marceau, and they start we learn in this episode and in this particular segment of the episode that Marceau used to be 70 pounds heavier and had no beard. Now, I know in another episode they were talking about how he used to be a little weighty. So that's why I made that comment that I made earlier. But in this episode, they come all the way out and they say it. In Tiffany's confessional, she talks about Marceau because Marceau makes a comment about motherhood. They're talking about babies and so on and so forth. And he says that that's not his job. He leaves that to his wife. And that offended Tiffany, as it did me as well. So in Tiffany's confessional, she says that when people like Marceau make those types of jokes, they mean it. And listen, clearly she hasn't followed the show because all of us who have followed the show, we know he meant it. We know his personality, his character. We know he's a chauvinist. He's a proud chauvinist. And he thinks that's good and it's not. So they go on, and Marceau, in the midst of all this, also makes a crack at his brother, Maurice, and says that he was in an effed up marriage. And that's when Kimmy had to come in. And and I don't know how side chick came to be in this particular camaraderie that they were having, because Kimmy makes it a point to go to Tiffany and say she was not a side chick. She makes it a point to say that she was not a side piece. I want to backtrack and say in previous seasons, like last season, Tisha confirmed that Kimmy was a side piece. Then the season before that, Kiowa sitting around the table saying that she interfered in her marriage. So now we have Kimmy, we have Kiowa saying it, we have Tisha saying it, and then this year we have Marsau has now said it. And Maurice has not once defended her in this whole process. I believe, and I've always believed that Kimmy was the side piece. I believe that she doesn't want people to see her that way. And so she continues to lie to the public and say she was not a side piece because she knows how we will look at her if we knew the truth. That's what I think. And my thoughts in this video, and as many videos are alleged, they are my thoughts and my opinions and not necessarily true. I have to say that. Kimmy says they get out to the pool, and this is where things get a little heightened because they are continuing to talk about this issue of the side piece, and they're joking about it. And Martell intervenes and starts joking about it. A conversation came up wherein Tiffany said, "Oh, the non-side chickish," or something like that. And that's when Martell gave notice to Tiffany for making that comment. And Kimmy is getting annoyed. And she says she wants to make it real clear. I have never been a side chick and will never be one. And you guys, I do not believe her. Her own husband, Maurice, sat there and did not say anything. He's never said anything, even in previous seasons. And Martell just keeps on going. And then Martell says, Marsau's the one who told me that you were the side piece. So he says that in front of everybody, and Marsau did not deny it. They're laughing about it continually. Martell says it came from Marsau. And Kimmy keeps telling Martell, you need to take your mic off. So she wants him to take his mic off. It goes back to what I just said, you guys. She doesn't want that type of exposure attached to her name. There are a lot of adulterers who don't want to be called adulterers. Even a thief doesn't like to be called a thief. A thief will fight you for calling him a thief. But he's a thief, okay? And that's what Kimmy is giving me in this episode. She keeps telling Martell to take his mic off. He doesn't take it off, right? And then Marsau starts to say, he starts to make jokes and say, oh, it's, we're just joking, it's kind of funny and stuff like that. And she says to him, like your side baby, is it funny? Is the side baby funny? She makes some kind of comment to that effect. And things get a little quiet. And then we see Tisha in the confessional saying, I guess Kimmy's trying to take up for me talking about a side baby, but why is she doing that? I mean, no one's talking about a side baby. Tisha is vindictive. You can tell by that whole confessional right there. She's vindictive. She's like her mom. And so Marsau doesn't really reply. He just says, yeah, I think it's funny. I think it's funny. A side babies, yeah, that's funny. So Tisha comes back because Tisha's going to change the air in the room. She didn't like that side baby piece, so she's like, let me get you straight here then. She tells Kimmy that when we were at Blaque the last time, when we were given the party, I had to leave. And so her mother told her that Kimmy was beating the table, telling her to STFU. In other words, shut the F up, okay? And we all know that's a lie that Wanda told. Kimmy didn't say that. She did not say to Wanda to STFU. And Tisha goes, am I supposed to think my mother's a liar? Yes, Tisha. That's what you're supposed to think, because she is. Just because she's your mother doesn't mean she doesn't lie. And she lied because Kimmy didn't say that. Now, Wanda may have felt like Kimmy said that because Kimmy was beating the table. You're standing there accusing the woman of doing things on social media. She's asking you for proof. You can't provide the proof. So you may have felt some way about that, Wanda. I'm so glad she's not on this trip. So glad. So they start talking about that. And Kimmy says, I never said that to her. I never told her to STFU. Then they move on. They're talking about Jalen. And I guess some kind of text was sent where Jalen said, yes, ma'am, and it offended Tisha. They wanted to interpret that as him being disrespectful. You cannot interpret a text, guys. You cannot always interpret text. It's a text. He said, yes, ma'am. So you don't know if he meant that in a sarcastic way. First of all, get off your high horse and get that man some help. That's what you and Marcel need to do. You are giving me shady business vibes. You're giving me real shady business vibes. I want to go to that cigar bar though. I'm going to go. I want to see if the food is good. I want to see if the atmosphere is good. I want to see how people are treated when they go in there, all of that. I'm definitely going to go. At the end, Kimmy gets tired of them ragging on her son, and she tells them that they are about to get on her, you know what nerves. She says a curse word and says they're about to get on her nerves. And they're about to get on mine too, especially Tisha. Tisha is annoying as F. She really is. She is annoying ASF. And that is the end. We see next week Martell and Mel go in. This is why I want Mel to ignore Martell. She should have ignored him the entire trip and not brought any of that. I'm kind of sick of the dialogue between them. I want to see her handle this in a more sophisticated manner. And next week, she's not doing that. She's giving him everything he wants her to give him. If the song is not about him, it's not about him. If it's about him, it's your song, it's your experience. I would have said to him, okay, it's my song. So what if it's about you? It's my experience with you. If you want to write a song, go write a song. Go build a house. In fact, go get your license so you can build a house. Go get your builder's license. Stop worrying about what I'm trying to do to make money for our children because you're not paying any child support. That's what I would have said to him. That's the end of that, you guys. Tonight it is Real Housewives of Potomac. I'm all in for it. It's not giving me a whole lot last episode. We'll see what it does tonight. I'm also going to be looking tonight is the first episode, second season for The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. It comes on right after The Real Housewives of Potomac, and I will be there. Okay. And Sharon, you and I have had this dialogue on this vlog, this live vlog. No one else has come in to say anything. This is why this whole process gives me Google vibes. It really does. I want to, at the end here, say that yesterday my video did not have one like, not one like out of all those people. You can go over there and look at it. And I look around YouTube and I've never seen videos go through the algorithm that Google is putting mine through. Because people say there are certain algorithms out here that you can get attention with your video, and there are. However, you need to realize that the computer scientists who work for companies like Google can block you from being seen on YouTube, and that's what they're doing to me. And I can prove it. I have enough information and print screens and uh, snippets and all of that to prove it. So thank you for showing up here. I appreciate it. Many blessings to you. And we will see you in the next one. I want to be able to bring people on the screen to have a conversation with me. I would even like to have, a group of people, kind of like what Sherelle's World does, because people like that kind of dialogue when it's not just one person talking, but when they can get a variation of ideas and opinions about what other people think as well. Because there are a lot of people who disagree with me on my thoughts about the shows and my thoughts about some of the news reports that I do. And there are other people that they might agree with. So I would like to have those kinds of dialogues on here. Thank you for showing up. And like I said, many blessings to you and have a great evening.